Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Romel De Silva about Hes All That, which is streaming now globally on Netflix. Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me. This is great.
Has it hit you that the movie's finally out?
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't until the premiere. Like, we filmed this back in, I think it was like December or January.
Mhm.
And now that, like, a whole lifetime has passed, a whole, half a pandemic has passed until we've gotten here. And now it's out and it's blown up and it's fantastic.
How does it feel to be part of the Netflix family? Because this is a global, huge, massive family where
Oh,
190 countries all over the world got a chance to see the movie when it dropped, which is crazy.
It's nuts because I've been getting messages from Brazil and from France and from Spain, just everywhere, just like, congratulating me or posting that the movie's number one in their country. And it's heartwarming. It's been a blast. It's been honestly really crazy. The response has been way bigger than I expected it to be.
And we're gonna get into it, like the movie and your character, which is amazing. Sebastian Woo, you do such a great job, Romel. Seriously, it's amazing. For you in terms of acting and everything, you've done some other shows in the past too. You've done Heathers and everything. But like, when did that kind of all start for you, storytelling wise? Was it at a young age?
Well, storytelling wise, my mom wanted me to be a doctor, like any Asian parent. So naturally, I became an actor. The yeah, no, the I started out, doing plays in high school and college, and I went to a performing arts college, and from there, I started acting professionally. I found my agent, my manager, and it's been a rough road, but it's been very rewarding, as we can see from He's All That.
It's a lot of auditioning.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of
Do you
rejection.
think people realize how much auditioning is like? Someone said it on my show, Ramel. Like, it's the auditioning is like the job, and then when you actually like book the job, that's almost kind of like it feels like that's like the not vacation, but that's like the downtime because
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, you're 100% correct. Most of the time it's auditioning. My wife, who she considers her job helping me self tape, because it is kind of a full time job. I get maybe 4 to 5 auditions a week, and just have to crank them out one after the other, or I actually have to go to these places and you know audition.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so
Yeah.
getting back to the film now. Okay, so Sebastian Wu, okay, this character. I need to know because people love obviously like the behind the scenes and everything. Did you audition for this character specifically?
So actually, it's kind of interesting because I actually didn't audition for Sebastian Wu. Sebastian Wu wasn't even a character.
I
I
thought there
auditioned
was
for
something like that a little bit. Great, keep going. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I auditioned for like this random character who did this poem thing. He was kind of a bro, and I kind of like I played it up a little bit like that. And then afterwards, I waited a couple days, and then casting came back to me and said the director wanted to kind of write a part around me and how I auditioned and everything. So they kind of expanded and combined a few roles and expanded into what is Sebastian Wu.
Absolutely. And the cast is just amazing. You kind of have Rachel and Matthew who were in the original movie back, but like you got
Yeah.
to work with Addison, Madison, Tanner, who we know as Robbie and Cobra Kai, which is on Netflix plug. I mean, what was it like working with that cast and crew?
Working with that cast and crew was amazing. It was, to say that I was starstruck was I was absolutely starstruck. That's what I'm saying. I was starstruck, but I also had to I had to keep it chill. I had to keep it cool because Rachel E. Cook. I grew up watching her movies.
Hmm.
Matthew Lillard too, and just meeting them and seeing them, and also our new cast with Addison and Madison and and Myra and everybody and Tanner. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Cobra Kai. I'm sure that everybody who's listening and watching has
So
watched
good.
Cobra Kai.
It's
It's
so
so
good.
good. It's so good. It has no business being that amazing. No, it does. It absolutely does. It does.
It's so good. Did you have a chance to talk to him a little bit about that? I mean,
Oh, 100%. There was a moment where Tanner and I were like completely not in a scene for a long time. I think Addison and Myra were doing their thing, and then me and Tanner were just kind of sitting at the cast chairs, and I gushed about Cobra Kai. I was trying to keep it cool. I was just like, "So yeah, Cobra Kai season 3 is coming out, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna be very happy." And I was just like, "Come on, I gotta know spoilers. I gotta know spoilers." And
it's
he
just
did not give
so
me any.
it's incredible that show. Just now that we're on the subject, we'll get back to He's All That. This is He's All That interview, but like, that show is just the development of the characters, like,
Oh,
is just like insanity.
oh
Like,
yeah.
I've never watched a show that's developed characters so well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
and the fact that the narrative starts with the bad guy is, I mean, it's chef's kiss.
But it's just
Uh,
like yeah, especially like Tanner's character Robbie.
oh
So
yeah,
many questions,
so many
much going
questions,
on, so much
many
arc.
questions. I had to deep dive into it, and he was like, "No, I can't give you anything," and I was just like, "Oh man!" But he said, "This is the one thing I could quote him on is that everyone's going to be really happy with the next season."
Yeah,
So that's as cryptic as that is. We know that we're going to be happy.
interesting little thing I've noticed. You worked on Heather's, which
Hmm.
is based on a movie that existed,
Yes.
and then you work on He's All That,
Yeah.
which is based on a movie that existed. Or
Yeah,
like,
everyone calls me the reboot king now.
yeah,
Yeah, like all
yeah,
my friends.
I was about to say that's interesting too. Is that like a cool? That I feel like that's a whole different world for a storyteller showing up, whether you have a big role or a smaller role. Because you're showing up to like a world that's almost like intact a little bit, right?
Yeah, and
Like
it also
there's
has a fan base, which
yeah,
it could be good, it could be bad because a lot of the Heather's fans kind of rejected the idea of it, but a lot of them really embraced it. So
yeah,
it was interesting going into He's All That with all this complete fan base of
mhm,
older millennials, and now we're bringing it to a Gen Z crowd.
absolutely. So like I said, Sebastian Wu doesn't have as much screen time as other characters in the film, but
Sure.
I think it's a scene. I think it's a scene stealer. I think
I
it's
think
just
that's right.
like it's amazing. I think you left a good impression on I got like a long lasting impression. Is that what you're getting like reception wise on social media these days?
Oh, sure. And even people have been reaching out telling me that I'm the Boba Fett of the He's All That universe, which as a nerd, like that is the highest compliment that you can receive, you know? Yeah, a lot of people have been reaching out telling me that I should have won prom king, which, hashtag woo for prom king. Like
Let's
the
get that trending. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. Let's get that trending. No, but yeah, people have been completely sweet to me. There's a million DMs that I can't answer, but everyone's been just very nice and very sweet, and I'm
It's a
loving all the
waterfall
responses
though,
too.
right,
So.
Roma? Like it's like nonstop, right? Like the messages, like it's a waterfall.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Between that and if um if I can tell them that Addison Ray says hi, which if any of you are listening, Addison Ray says hi to all her fans. So yeah.
That that yeah, I could guess that's a lot of those are a lot of the messages.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you able though to like fill like it's like oh like an Addison and Addison and Addison oh a Sebastian Wu like
Yeah,
message like
yeah. Woo for prom king. Yeah, a lot of people just yeah. It's been great. It's been great. It's been fantastic.
um funny like I got an interesting thing I wanted to talk to you about is I there's this thing I talk about like the middle man or the middle person kind of theory with storytellers because like you're Romel De Silva, you're in some shows and some movies that people see you as Sebastian Wu and He's All That streaming now on Netflix, right? And a
Mhm.
lot of people look at you and say, wow, like I want to act one day. I want to be maybe like in Romel De Silva's shoes one day and kind of be in roles like Sebastian Wu and have that kind of ability to steal scenes and everything. But at the same time, you as an actor and a storyteller, you're always learning. You're looking up to people in the industry as well. You're kind of finding finding new ways to do things and experimenting all the time. So you're like in the middle where people kind of look up to you. They see you in He's All That because you have such a global audience, but you're also kind of learning and looking up to people. Have you ever thought about that? Because that's an interesting situation that you're in, man.
Yeah, 100%. I keep saying 100%, but it is 100%.
Yeah.
Um, th- I I do people do I would say people and also friends of mine also kind of do look up to me
Yeah.
as far as a performer, and it's very humbling because I don't really have all the answers, but I've worked hard to get to where I am. And as far as looking up to other people, I mean, especially people that I worked with some incredible people. Um, I, I want to, I'm always on set trying to learn from them as well. You
Yeah.
know, when I'm on set with Matthew Lillard, like I'm learning from him what exactly makes a great comedic performance.
Yeah.
Exactly how to find the breath in between the scenes with Rachel Lee Cook. Every little thing that I've learned on set is invaluable to me.
Absolutely. But I'm curious that what you kind of talked about as well about the like the Heathers and the She's All That, where like there's that fan bases there already that are established, and then it's kind of like an extension and everything. Did you have a chance to kind of talk to Tanner or Addison or anyone about that, where like there is like was there pressure from like the cast kind of going into something like this, would you say, that's already kind of intact and everything and people know about it? Like, I find that's it could be like an overwhelming thing, I find. You know what I mean? Go back to Cobra Kai as well. It's like already existing,
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, there is pressure, especially to do it right, because there's all like even before the movie comes out, there's already criticism for that.
Yeah.
Even with Heather's, when we did Heather's, there was already criticism for it even before the movie or the TV show comes out. But I think at the end of the day, we're all storytellers and we're trying to tell the story the best that we can, and we have incredible writers, incredible directors behind it, which we put our loyalty and trust into.
Absolutely. I wanted to thank you so much for coming on Popternative, man, to chat a little bit about He's All That. It was awesome to chat with you.
Nice to chat with you. Thanks so much, Peter.
So it's available now on Netflix. They can go watch it. If they haven't watched it yet, they can catch you with Sebastian Woo. Woof prompting.
Sebastian Woo!
And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Oh yeah, follow me at Romel De Silva on pretty much all platforms.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative. YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. You're going to be able to catch Romel De Silva as Sebastian Woo in He's All That, streaming now globally on Netflix. Until next time, it's Romel and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.